We're going to be looking at the introduction to sectors, and we are actually going to be using sectors for the next couple of weeks at the end of this circles unit and then in the cylinders unit also. So first of all, let's talk about what a sector is. So a sector is actually a pie slice or a piece of a circle. So it's like I'm going to take a piece of pie and just cut it out of the circle. That's not a very good one, so let's try that again. I'm going to find the center point. So like a piece of pie. There we go, that's better. So it is a fraction of the circle, and because it is a fraction of the circle, it actually has a proportional relationship to the rest of the circle. But let's talk about the pieces of a sector. So this inside part right here, the pie slice, is the sector. The edge of the pie piece is called the arc length. You still have the radius, so it's surrounded by two radii. That's how you say radius. So it still has radius. But then it also has this angle in the middle. And because it's based on the center of the circle, it is called the central angle. And central angle is indicated by an oval with a line through the middle. So you're going to see that later. So that's what sectors are. It's like a pie piece out of a circle. And because it is a pie piece, like I said a little while ago, it does have a proportional relationship to the circle. So we can use what we know about proportions to solve for unknown parts of a sector. So I just have a series of these proportions down here. So let's just kind of take a look at how these work. So let's look at this first one, and actually it's way down here on the right. Part and whole. Remember, that's what really a fraction is, and that really is what a proportion is. It's the part over the whole. And so when we go to set up the sector proportions that are going to work for us, we're going to look at the part and the whole of the sector. So if we have a sector area, so in other words, I'm just going to scooch back up here. If we have the inside of this, we actually have a part of the circle area. So here's your part and your whole. We have part of the circle area, and the whole would be the circle area. So sector area is the part, circle area is the whole. So then let's move down here. Here's that central angle with that circle and the line through the middle of it. The central angle is that small piece of the angle that is inside the sector. So it is part of the entire circle, and an entire circle has 360 degrees in it. So there's your part, there's your whole. And then the arc length is this outside edge of the sector, which is part of the circumference. So the arc length is the part and the circumference is the whole. So we're basically going to be using what we know about proportions, part and whole, to solve for missing pieces of this, sectors. So let's just come down here real quick. I'm going to move some things around here. We're going to pick which ones we use because the proportion that you are going to use depends on what part you're given and what part you are looking for. So let's just say I am looking for, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's just say I am looking for my arc length. Okay, so I put this X out here on the arc length because that's what I'm looking for. And I am going to tell you that the inside area of the sector is 154.488 inches squared. Since I am looking for arc length, I am going to pick this proportion because that's what I'm looking for. But now the other part of the proportion is going to be what I am given. And I'm actually being given the area of the sector, so I'm going to use this. So basically your homework today is just going to be picking out which ones you're going to use depending on what you are given. So let's put these back. And I'm going to kind of move that X around a little bit. So now let's say I am looking for, I am looking for the sector area. So I'm looking for the inside of that sector area, but I am given arc length. So now I'm still going to be using those same two things. I am looking, or I've given arc length, excuse me, and I'm looking for sector area. Okay, so again, depending on what you're looking for and what you're given depends on what you're going to use. So let me just put those back. I'm going to move that X around. So now let's say we are looking for this central angle. So I'm just going to put it right there in the middle. And I am given, let's say I'm given the area of the sector. So I'm looking for my central angle. So that's going to become the one I'm looking for. So I'm obviously going to pick that one. And I'm given the sector area. So I'm going to use that one. Okay, so again, depending on what you're given and what you're looking for determines which of these you use. So let's just put those back. And I'm going to move this stuff around again here. Okay, so let's say I'm looking for arc length, but I know my central angle. Okay, so now I can use my central angle because I'm given that, and I am looking for my arc length. Okay, so you can see how I'm picking and choosing the ones I'm using based on what I'm given. Okay, so let's kind of move this one back. I'm going to leave that central angle there, but now I'm going to look for sector area. So I'm still going to use central angle, but now I'm looking for the area of the sector. That's the part, sector area, and the whole is the circle area. So you can see how those kind of are interchangeable, and you pick and choose the one that you have and the one you're looking for. So let's just kind of practice those a couple of times. So this is what your homework's going to look like. So here we go. I am looking for arc length because my X is on the outside here by the arc length. So I know I'm going to pick that one because that's the one I'm looking for, right? And then it looks like I'm given sector area. So that's going to be the one I use. Okay, so I've got arc length and because that's the one I'm given, and I'm looking for sector area. So that's basically what your homework is which one am I given, which one am I looking for? So let's come down here. That one was a little bit crowded, but let's look at this one. Maybe it'll work a little better. So I'm looking for arc length because my X is on the outside there, so I know I'm going to need arc length. And then I've been given sector area, so I am going to use sector area. Okay, so again, picking and choosing what I have, what I'm looking for. Okay, let's come here to the next one. So here it looks like I've given central angle, but I'm looking for arc length. So I'm looking for arc length, but I've been given central angle. So those are the two that I'm going to use. Let's do it again. I hope this is starting to make sense. I'm given central angle, and I am looking for arc length. So those are the two I'm going to use. So today's homework, we're not filling in numbers. We're just looking at which one am I given, which one am I looking for, and picking which two fractions or proportions we're going to use to fill things out. And then tomorrow we're going to start filling in numbers and finding those missing part lengths.